Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the second time I'm filming this video because I realized the first time, for some weird reason, after I filmed it, I went back to edit it and there was zero audio to the track. I don't know why. The mic was plugged in, I was recording a bunch of other videos and all of the audio for those files worked. For some reason this one didn't, so sitting down, refilming it now, hoping I can say everything that I said before in the same manner. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. That hair flick though. Okay, so if you guys are watching this, you probably were anticipating it because I just recently uploaded my best of 2020, so you're probably here back for my worst of 2020. That being said, I know that video was quite long. This one definitely isn't going to be as long, as you can probably see in the timeline down below. And that's because honestly, I didn't have that many regretful buys this past year. I feel like I was relatively fortunate that COVID started affecting Canada early quite on in the last year. And because of that, and my conscious decision to kind of be a little bit more critical with which purchases I made, I actually ended up buying a little bit less than I intended to, and all of my purchases were made with more intention than just impulses. So there are a couple of regretful purchases, obviously, that I've made throughout the year, and some of them I just didn't really have a choice, or I wasn't necessarily in control of the outcome, so we'll go through that. But there are some other purchases that I made that definitely were probably not the best idea at the time, and now looking back, but you know what, hindsight's always 2020. You never know, literally 2020. So yeah, we're just gonna jump into everything I regret making purchases for last year. We're gonna start off with the very first one being flights, travel in general. I mean, thankfully, Peter and I got the chance to go to Montreal, LA, and Orlando early on last year, the beginning between like January to February, before we had to go into a full lockdown. And unfortunately, we did have tickets purchased for us to go to our bachelor and bachelorette trips, and also tickets purchased to go to Italy for not only our friend's wedding, but for our honeymoon as well. Obviously, given the circumstances, none of those trips that we purchased tickets for actually ended up panning out, and we had to get all the tickets refunded. Well, not refunded because the airlines haven't given us back money yet, but we've had to get all of our credits back, and there's like a couple $1,000s sitting on our accounts with these airlines, and who knows if we're ever going to be able to get our money back, because I read some pretty bad reviews for Flight Network, and a lot of people have been having issues getting their money back, or they've had to pay more when they rebook. So that's a story for another time. But I mean, we didn't know at the time when we booked all of these. We booked them back in like November, September of like 2019. So none of this was going through our head. Obviously, we would have taken all of these things into consideration prior to booking if we knew that there was a pandemic, but we didn't. We just didn't end up getting able to use any of our tickets, so it's just a really regretful purchase, and we're now out a couple $1,000s, and I just really wish we had that money, because it could definitely have been put towards better use, such as our car or the house that we want to buy down the road. I try not to look back on any of these mistakes. Not really mistakes, regrets though, because it wasn't anything we had in control, so we wouldn't have known. And hopefully we'll be able to put all these credits onto future trips, maybe later on this year once it's safe to go traveling again, or hopefully the airlines will give us an extension to the credits so that we can use them for a little bit longer, ideally next year. To confirm, Peter and I have both rescheduled our wedding again for the second time, this time pushing it to 2020. It's gonna be in June, not May, because the dates that we wanted were no longer available. So that being said, we're both going to be doing our bachelorette and bachelor trips later, towards the end of this year, maybe early next year. Who knows? We'll figure things out. At the moment, travel is so up in the air that we're not trying to put concrete plans down for anything. It's just something I really wish I hadn't spent my money on in 2020. Moving on to the next one, it is going to be my ring light. I was definitely sucked into the TikTok craze early last year after the lockdown settled in, and I wanted to really get a light to help me illuminate our space a little bit more. If you guys are not familiar with our condo layout, it's kind of laid out like a tunnel. You have a window here, and then it just goes long and deep into here, and the further in you go, the more of a black hole it feels like. There's less and less light that kind of goes through the rest of the condo. We have decent lighting here now in the video because I've kind of learned how to set it up and to use a reflector to bounce the sunlight off from me. This is where the window is on this side, shines in, bounces off the reflector, and hits me perfectly. And it's unfortunate that during the winter times when the sun sets at 4:30 p.m., you don't get a lot of daylight to really play with, and it gets really hard to not only film things for YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, but to just like really balance the lighting to begin with. So I thought that getting a ring light would be a good idea because that would allow me to be able to light up the space a little bit better for my videos for TikTok. It turns out that I just never ended up really using my ring light. I didn't like how aggressive and harsh the light was. It definitely didn't bounce the light as nicely as a reflector would. And now the ring light literally sits here as a stand for me to clip my reflector onto. So I mean, all in all, it didn't really go to waste completely. I mean, we're still using it. It just feels like it was a waste of money because I could have saved that like $130 some and spent it again elsewhere, probably another camera gear that I would have much rather have purchased and used and would have been much more functional than a ring light. But once again, in hindsight, I didn't know that it wasn't going to work out for me in the future. I sat down with Peter and we had a discussion to rationalize the purchase of this ring light now that we've realized that it's no use to us anymore. And we realized that, you know what, at the end of the day, it's still a source of light and maybe we will need it down the road in the future someday. I don't know. We have no idea. It's still a functional piece, so I'm not gonna really write it off completely. It's just one of those annoying purchases where after you look back, you're like, I really didn't get as much use out of it as I wanted to, and now it's just sitting here collecting dust. So I'm trying my best to use it as much as I can whenever I shoot my YouTube videos to at least give it a purpose. It is a stand for my reflector, but beyond that, it doesn't really do much. It just sits there right now. I did have a little phone mount that came attached to the tripod, not the tripod, the ring light that I dismantled, and I put it onto the cold shoe or the horseshoe mount on the camera cage so that I can use it to prop up my phone whenever I'm watching myself film. But since we purchased the screen, we've no longer really needed to use that little phone mount anymore. So that at that point, I was using the phone mount to justify the purchase of the ring light because I was like, you know what? There's still a purchase to it. I used part of it for something, but now that I don't use it anymore, the entire ring light is more or less useless besides the fact that it acts as a stand. And the worst part is we have stands here that we can use. It's just this one is always here and I can't dismantle it really. It takes up a lot of space and the other stands are super compact, so it's easy for me to just leave this one out and to use it all the time. So at the moment, this one is acting as a reflector stand. Next thing I really regret purchasing are fancy clothes and statement pieces. Okay, so let's just jump into this a little bit. I deal with a lot of fashion on here, and looking back on this past year, a lot of the pieces that I actually purchased and ended up wearing a lot were loungewear and casual pieces. And when I say a lot, I mean literally sweat sets where I wear it for like 3 days straight without taking them off unless I'm taking a shower. And I know it sounds gross, but I mean, we've literally been stuck in our homes for the past year and haven't really had anywhere to go. So I haven't been really wearing any like quote unquote nice fancy clothes. I mean, the fanciest thing I would consider would be like if I'm wearing jeans and a blazer to dress up to go out somewhere. And honestly, most of the time, as soon as I get home, I pull off those jeans and instantly throw on my pajamas right away. So I've made a couple purchases this past year that I really, really love. I just haven't been able to get a lot of wear out of them. So it kind of hurts me a little bit because I know that each season, as new collections come through, there's always going to be new pieces that I really like. And I really wish that I could buy them and keep them. But if I continuously do that, then my closet is going to completely run out of space. And as you guys know already, I have like no space left in my closet. I've been putting so many things into Poshmark just to clear it out, and thank you everybody who has been helping me clear the closet and who has picked up some items of your own. I really appreciate you. Y'all the real MVPs. But honestly, I need to stop shopping for clothes that I'm not going to wear or I won't be able to wear within the season, because come next season, once a new collection comes out, I'm going to still want new things that come out. New things are going to catch my eye, and then things that I bought in the previous season are just going to sit there and never get worn, which is really unfortunate when you think about it. And it's unfortunate that it's fast fashion that's really pushing this narrative, because I truly adore like the ever-changing landscape of fashion. It's just they push it out so quickly that I'm constantly like, I want that, I want that, I want that, and I buy it and I just don't end up using it, and that just ends up contributing to a lot of landfill waste. So I'm trying to be a little bit more critical this year. I feel like 2020 I was a little bit more, I guess, specific with what I purchased. I allowed myself to buy a couple statement pieces here and there if they were filling holes in my closet. Otherwise, I try to really refrain from buying too much that involves things that I never really would wear. And honestly, a lot of the stuff that I usually bought for my closet, I found that I ended up purchasing it because A, I was shooting it for a photo, or B, I was going traveling somewhere and once again, I wanted it for a pretty photo. I didn't wear it that much afterwards. A lot of the things that I have in my closet I've only really worn like 2 or 3 times, which is not right. So I've scaled back purchasing statement pieces, and I've tried to really just purchase things that I think I can get a lot of wear out of. For example, this set from Princess Polly, so freaking adorable in the summer. I got to wear it like once or twice, and then after that I didn't really wear it again. Granted, it is a 2-piece set. This is actually more on the casual side of the pieces that I would typically purchase when it comes to statement. So I can see myself wearing this year over year because the style, although is a little bit trendy, being that cropped bralette style two-piece, it's not overly statement to the point that you can't wear this out every single day. Like I could definitely wear this crop top with jeans to go in the summertime or with shorts, and then the skirt down here would look really cute with like a t-shirt tucked in or something. So I think this one's okay. It's just not an everyday piece that I would find myself comfortably wearing at home all the time because it's not a really comfortable stretchy material. The material is fairly stiff, and then when it's zipped up completely, it's supposed to fit you the way it fits you, and you look cute in it. You're just not really meant to lounge around with it. So something like this is okay, but I'm gonna try to stray away from this year until we're allowed to go back out and the pandemic, I guess, title is lifted and things are back to normal and I can wear these types of things more frequently outside because I'm not stuck at home so often. Another example of a statement piece that I purchased that kind of fits into the realm of everyday casual wear too is this little kind of like bandage top here. It's a very tight knit stretchy material and it's very form-fitting, and it has that corset style of like, it's not boning, it's like ribbing put into it. And although this is a relatively simple piece, it is a statement piece because first of all, it's very form-fitting and tight, and the silhouette of it is not like a relaxed one. So although I can find myself wearing this quite frequently outside when I go out to do things, I'm not going to be wearing this at home because at the end of the day, it is tight, it's constricting. I don't feel comfortable wearing this at home. I'd rather loose flowing pieces like this tank top and this kind of like knit little shrug here, or an oversized crew neck sweater. So although I do really like this one a lot, and I probably wear this to places like events or meetings, or if I just want to dress up and look cute to go out and do stuff, I'm not going to wear it as home as much. So I'm a little bit iffy on this. I don't know if I fully regret it because I think this is a really nicely made top that's going to become like a staple piece in my closet. It's simple, it's clean, it's elegant, but I'm just not getting a lot of wear out of it right now because I'm wearing a lot more casual wear when it comes to being at home. This is an example of stuff that I probably shouldn't have purchased this past year because it just didn't really make sense, but I fell in love with it and I took the plunge when I came back in my size, and it was this House of CB dress. Look at this print. It like called my name. The cut, the detailing, everything. This whole dress is immaculate. If you guys flip back to 2020 summer when cottagecore was the hugest thing out there, everybody was going on picnics, bringing wine and charcuterie boards to the parks, dressing up, sitting by ponds, under trees, that sort of jam. I loved it. I was living my best cottagecore vibes with all these like beautifully floral dresses. And you know what? These dresses are stunning and they photograph amazing and they look so good on your body. The only problem is that they're not really comfortable. Like, they're extremely tight. And then first of all, this sleeve, super cute, right? Looks like a balloon sleeve, but there is crinoline inside of this. And excuse me, sir, I'm not wearing crinoline every single day. Do you know how itchy that is? It gives it that beautiful balloon effect, but honestly, it's not comfortable whatsoever at all. You can leave it up on your shoulders, you can pull it down to let it drape off of the side of your arm, and it still looks cute. But the problem is that it's not comfortable. This one actually has boning in it. I can't really show you, it's gonna be hard, but there are strips of hard plastic going through to give it that really cinched kind of sculpted silhouette. Up here too, this is like kind of like a tight area for the bust. I don't have the biggest boobs, so it's not uncomfortable for me. But the issue here is that because this material is not stretchy and it's a zip and it's not adjustable, once you zip it up, you're not moving. If you've ever worn a corset on the top portion of your torso, you know that it's really hard bend over and to be able to breathe. So this is definitely not a dress I'm gonna be wearing for like 10 plus hours in a day. I'd probably just wear it out for the day for a little bit, look cute, hang out, grab a couple of photos, maybe even wear this to something like a wedding or somebody's like evening event, but it's definitely not an everyday casual dress, and I don't think I wore it more than twice this past summer. So this dress it wasn't cheap. It was like $300 and I didn't get that much wear out of it. Although it's immaculately made, I regret making purchases like these because this is something that I can't wear now. I can't translate it out of wearing it every day for cute photos and to like wearing it every day at home as well. I am definitely going to try to wear them as much as possible this upcoming summer because there is no way I'm going to spend that much money on these clothes and just not get anywhere out of it. And because of that, I'm gonna try to be a little bit more conscious with all of my purchases this year. That doesn't mean I'm not gonna do hauls. I definitely still would be doing hauls, but I'm gonna keep them as critical as I've been doing this past year alone, kind of bringing in whatever I think is interesting and then reviewing them all with you with my first impressions and how they fit, and then letting you know what works and what doesn't before indicating which ones I wanna keep and which ones I wanna return. It seems like so far you guys really like them. Let me know in the comments down below if you do wanna still watch hauls hauls in the format that I've kind of been presenting them, not just showing you like what I bought, but kind of hauling things and then sharing with you what I liked, didn't like, and like what did and didn't work. That way you know for yourself if there are pieces that you have your eye currently on. I did also find myself this year gravitating a little bit more towards thrifting and antiquing, not only for things for our home, but slowly gravitating into the clothing realm. I've never really been against thrift clothes. It's just I don't know, I had this like strange aversion to purchasing clothes that had already been used. It didn't sit right with me for some reason, and this year I really opened up to it a lot more and found so many gems. Mel and I thrifted the beautiful trench coat from Value Village back in summer. I think it was like August sometime, and I love it. You've seen me wear it so much, not only on this channel but on my Instagram as well. And also a couple of things that I did find at the Exile shop, which is like this vintage antique thrift shop in Toronto and Kensington. Found so many lovely and amazing sweater vests there and some hidden gems as well. And recently I discovered this one online called Good Fair, so you can kind of go through their collections that they've curated of thrifted pieces that they've kind of put together in little bundles to purchase, and it's made it really easy for me to thrift online because I can't really go into stores right now since all of our stores are currently shut down. But hopefully in 2021 I'll be able to do that a little bit more, and I can share with you all of my thrift finds. If you guys are also interested in coming with me whenever we go shopping, and I can kind of vlog our thrift trips to show you what we find and the places that we go to, let me know. I can definitely do that. I just don't know if that's something of interest to you guys. Otherwise, just let me know if there are specific videos that you would like to see, certain styling ones, how to rewear certain pieces in my closet. I've even considered doing one of those like shop my own closet type of videos where I shop through all the pieces I currently own for myself and create brand new outfits for them to kind of like breathe fresh light into the clothes that I already own. But yeah, summing it all up, I feel like I didn't make too many major regrettable purchases in 2020 because the pandemic put us so early into a lockdown at the beginning of the year that for the rest of the year I was really mindful of what I purchased. There probably were a couple things here and there that I did regret. I spent so long racking my mind to think up of what were worst buys for me, and I even consulted with Peter, and he told me he didn't think that I had that many major ones this year compared to previous years. I severely scaled back all of my designer purchases. I only bought one bag. I'm pretty sure it was my Diana. Let me know if you guys remember me buying any other bag this year, but I think it was only that one. And then when it comes to shoes, it was just the Dior sneakers, the Bottega boots, and the Chloe boots. And then there were a couple of small things here and there, such as the Dior earrings, some Chanel beauty products, and I think that's really it, to be honest. There wasn't that much in terms of designer, whereas in the past I've gone all out before. Some years I've bought like 2 to 3 bags in 1 year, and looking back, I don't know if that's a good idea. I mean, I have the finances to do it, but there are other better things for me to spend my money on, such as saving up for our house. So yeah, 2021 is going to be a little bit interesting to see if it's going to be mirroring the same trajectory that 2020 went, or if I'll go back to my normal spending habits. If anything though, I think this past year has really taught me to be a little bit more mindful and conscientious with what I purchase. That's not saying that I'm going to go completely into thrifting. I still like fast fashion pieces and I'm still going to do hauls, but I'm not going to purchase as much as I have in the past, and just be a little bit more careful with what I buy and making sure that all the pieces that I buy actually work into my wardrobe and are filling holes, not just adding repetitive new beautiful pieces that I probably won't get much wear out of. So yeah, that's it. Let me know if you guys have any major regrets that you purchased or bought last year that you wish you hadn't spent your money on, or just in the past, if there's anything that you bought that you're like, I really wish I didn't buy that because I'm not getting a lot of use out of it. And if you've had any similar situations such as I did, such as purchasing flight tickets, buying things for the house you really didn't think that you needed afterwards, or just like clothes you didn't have anywhere to wear them to, I would love to know. I don't want to feel alone in this, guys. Please let me know. And of course, if you guys want to see more of me, you're always welcome to follow my Instagram. I post quite daily on there with some posing reels and photography and like influencer tips. And I also post on my TikTok as well, some more comedy and prank stuff, some weird things that I do to Peter. Otherwise, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel here as well. That way you're notified every single time I upload a brand new video. New videos come up every Thursday and Sunday at 7 p.m. EST, and I will be on for the first hour when I post a video. I'm going to try my best for this year to be on for the first hour responding back to comments, because I feel like there are some of you that I've gotten to know quite well over the past year. We've chatted a little bit in comments, had some discourse back and forth, but I want to get to know you better and to like talk with you guys, because I feel like you know a lot about me. And at the end of the day, I wouldn't be where I am without you guys, so I want to know more about you. So drop any comments you have down below if you have any specific video requests, because I'm already planning into March what I want to film, and I would like to be able to make videos that you guys want to watch, not just videos that entertain me that if you guys don't care about, there's no point in me making them. But yeah, let me know if there's anything specific that you want to see. Otherwise, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!